Hi guys, today we're going to cover section 3.1, the rectangular coordinate system. And just a few things to know. We need to know how to interpret graphs, how to plot points, and some applications. So here we go. So according to our handout, you should have a picture like this and with some points on the line. And so let's go ahead and go right to the questions. The question is, we're looking to interpret the point 1, 93. Okay, so as you can see, when you're dealing with the 1, 93, that's this point right here, right? And notice for the graph, they each have a label, day and price. So for 1, 93 it is going to be day 1 at $93. Right, so it'd be so basically it means the first day is $93. Okay, then the question is, second part, what is the price increase between day 1 and day 2? Now I think I meant decrease instead of increase, because between day 1 and 2 the price went down. So essentially in this case, what is the price difference? So in this case, the price difference is going to be 93 minus 88.75, and it's going to be 425. Okay, so the price difference between day 1 and 2, it will be $4.25. All right, and part C, what is the decrease between day 3 and day 4? So I think this one, I do have the day 3 and day 4 correct, because the price is going down. So again, the pricing difference is going to be 92.25 minus 88.50. Okay, so I think this one is probably easy enough that you can do it without a calculator. So let's see, what do we have? Just do really quick, 92.25 minus 88.50. So that's 5, that's 7, and looks like $3.75. So it's going to be $3.75. Okay, so it's not too bad. But essentially you're just you're looking at a point and you're looking at the axis and the labels and figure out exactly what they want. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to plotting points, right? But before we actually plot points, let's actually talk about the rectangular coordinate system. Okay. The reason why it's called rectangular coordinate system is because all our movements we only have vertical and horizontal movements. And if you go vertical and horizontal, essentially what you can do is you can draw a rectangle. Okay, so that's why it's called a rectangular coordinate system. Now, most of you probably already know this, but the rectangular coordinate system has 2 axes, the horizontal and the vertical. The horizontal axis is called the x-axis. The vertical is called the y-axis. Okay, and where the 2 axes cross, this point right here is called the origin. Okay, and the origin is located at the coordinate 0, 0. Okay. Now, with having 2 axes, it splits the space into 4 parts. So those are called quadrants. So this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. And this is quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So we kind of go in a counterclockwise. Okay. Now to figure out the location, in the rectangular coordinate system, you need something called an ordered pair. Okay. So for example, the 0, 0 is an example of an ordered pair. Okay. Now, depending the coordinates also you have this is the x and y. The coordinates, the x comes before y, and depending on the value for x and y, it depends on how, and it determines how you move the point. So for example, if x is greater than 0, we go to the right. If x is less than 0, we go to the left. If y is greater than 0, we go up. And if y is less than 0, we go down. So x tells you left and right, y tells you up and down. Okay, so x is like the number line is left and right, y is up and down. Okay. And x-intercept and y-intercept, any point that sits on the axis, those are intercepts. So for example, point A sitting right on the x-axis, so this is considered as an x-intercept. Now point B sits on the y-axis, so it's considered as a y-intercept. One good thing about the intercept is this: if you have an x-intercept, the y value is always 0. If you have a y-intercept, the x value is always 0. Okay, so keep that in mind. And also, we talked about in class, well, think about how city of Grand Rapids is built, because if you think about it, we do kind of go, the same direction, right? Up and down, left and right. So we talked about that where the origin of the city of Grand Rapids, right? If you consider city of Grand Rapids as a rectangular coordinate system, the origin is the intersection of Division and Fulton. Right? That intersection is where the origin is for us. Okay. All right. So the next part, we're gonna plot some points. So we only plot a few, just because once you understand it, it's pretty straightforward. So let's go to talk about 2, 5. Okay, so 2 is positive, so which means 2 means I need to go right 2. Now for the y value, 5 is positive, means I gotta go up. Okay, and make sure when you try to plot points, you always start at origin. Okay, you always start at origin. So which means if I were to plot 2, 5, I'm going to start at origin. I'm going to go 2 to the right, then 5 up. And that's going to be 2, 5. Okay, so 2 to the right and 5 up. Okay. Now, similar idea, right? Let's look at point number 2. You got -3 and 6. So that means 3 to the left and 6 up. So again, starting at the origin, 3 to the left and 6 up. Okay, so hopefully it'll give you some idea on what's going on here. Now again, right, anything in the upper right corner is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay. All right, now it's a couple points I want to point out. 5, 0. 5, 0 would be right here. 5 to the right, 0 up, right? And you have 0, -3, which is 3 down, essentially. The 5, 0, and 0, 3, notice those sits around the x on the x and y axis. So which means those 2 points are not in the quadrant. So no, x and the y intercepts are not in quadrants. Okay. All right, the last part is actually fairly straightforward. Again, right, this time instead of you plotting the points, they're gonna plot the point for you and then you're gonna figure out what it is. So let's go ahead and pick out a couple points. First thing first, let's pick out point G. All right, we're gonna pick out point G. So point G looks like it's, right, so if you start out at the origin, looks like point G is gonna be negative 1.5, comma 0. Right, because from the origin, all you have to do is go 1.5 to the left, and you don't have to go up or down. So the y value is 0. Okay, point I is not bad. Point I is right here. That's 1 to the left and 1 up. So 1 to the left is maybe 1. 1 up is well, that's also 1. So I is negative 1, 1. Okay. Right, and so I is in a negative 1, 1 in quadrant 2. Okay, so if you look at G, right, G is negative 1.50. If you look at the L, I think in the class we look at point L and point G. L is on the y-intercept, so it's a y-intercept because it's on the y-axis. So it's a 0 and looks like negative 2.5. Okay. All right, I think, and that's it. This is basically it. Just an introduction of some plotting points and what the graph looks like. If any questions, please let me know. All right, so talk to you later.